Hello everybody, my name is Domagoj Madunić. I'm CEO at small company here in Zagreb, AG04 Innovative Solutions DO. Some of you know us, the others don't. I hope we are all going to be very good friends in the future. Well, this presentation is in a way continuation of a presentation that Mr. Nenad Bakić gave in the opening part. He talked about kids in elementary school. I will talk about kids in the colleges. What I do in my life, I do many things, but one of the assignments I have is to hire and then to train junior developers. And this presentation is a kind of expression of some of my worries and concerns and the trends I've noticed over the past 10 years that I've been doing this. It is sort of a call for an action, and its goal is to raise the awareness to something that we are all subconsciously aware, but take it for granted, and I don't think that we should. So first caveat is that this is very friendly, but rather opinionated presentation, and it will raise more questions than it will answer. So to get it clear at the beginning, this is from Indeed.com survey from 2016, the state of the job market. Okay, SQL is the number one. Everybody needs some form of database, but Java is still one of the leading technologies. So, what is the gap that I'm speaking about? On the one hand, we have the final product of our educational system, national. That is the junior Java developer with university degree from STEAM College. On the other hand, it's us. That is the IT Java industry. And we have our own needs, and the question I was asking myself for lately pretty much is, are these two aligned? Are they compatible? Or they are not? Let's begin with the standard scenario. You just hired a new graduate student, and what now? Start coding? Is he ready? Do you want to bring him immediately to the production team? Well, different companies have different standards, but in generally what I've seen is that every company needs to do some training with the juniors they hire. Juniors need training into many aspects, not only into the business domain, but also in technical skills and expertises to become fully productive members of the teams in the company. How long does it take? It really depends from company to company, but I've seen intervals from 1 month to 6 months. So how does company know when junior is ready to become productive member of a team? Obviously, everybody, consciously or not, creates some entry-level competencies for junior developers. And I will talk a little bit about those competencies in terms of several categories. One category is methodologies, the other is his knowledge of languages and frameworks, the third one is tooling, and the fourth one is practices. Okay, so this is how I was looking at the Java developers I was hiring 10 years ago. I would, made an interview with the person and made this pie chart. 1/3, one pie is represented by his knowledge of Java as a language. Okay, Java, C, E, how well does he know Java, core Java? Then I would give him grades from 1 to 10. Then I would look, okay, how well does he know the Java ecosystem? Spring, every other possible library, what does he follow or not, and again, 1 to 10 grade. Then on the third pie chart, I would say, okay, I would try to find out how well he masters the metaprogramming. So does he know patterns, design patterns, what are his skills that he can take from one language to another? And again, grade 1 to 10. And then I will get kind of a very nice image of a person, and if all of these grades are at least minimum that I said that okay we need, congratulations, you got a job. Otherwise, please do some more training, you can improve yourself, and we can talk later, and etc. etc. This worked well for over 10 years, but lately I realized that okay, this is not working anymore. The entry-level competencies set like this are not satisfactory for me or for my company anymore. Over the last 10 years, all of us have changed, like really a change in key areas of enterprise software development. First, there was a huge increase in complexity of Java enterprise development due to the things that like we already talked here previously, rise of continuous integration and continuous deployment paradigms, emergence of containers of platforms, and then entire DevOps movement. Second, what occurred is also standardization. Very nice thing in terms of methodology. Entire industry has adopted an agile as a de facto standard in one form or another, and very huge number of companies adopted Scrum in one form or another. Then we also, a good thing, what emerged is standardization in the area of tooling. Source version control tools have standardized very much. Some people still use CVS, SVN, but if it, Git is the most popular source version control tool today. Number of projects at GitHub, surpasses by far everything else. Then, application lifecycle management also, as strangely as it looks, have become standardized. I checked the surveys, and it seems that only 3 giants have left standing in the end. It is ever popular Jira, U-Track by JetBrains, and Microsoft Team Foundation Server, and on the 4th place, IBM's RTC. The other area of standardization in terms of tooling is build and CI tools. Jenkins, it is de facto standard. Many companies are using it, and that's great. Okay, what happened and was not a standard, but it is explosion of JavaScript frameworks. Colleague before me talked about it. Probably it's the most dynamic area of software development at the moment. And it also poses, I think, a serious challenge to the concept of traditional full-stack developer role, because how many years of training or expertise do you need to have to be able to master everything? Okay, you can do it at some level. The question is, when you are going to be fully proficient with all of the stacks, if you need to develop single-page JavaScript applications and Spring backend and everything else. So, the other thing that was also a little bit standardized is the personal team practices. Okay, we heard opinion about, okay, commit everything to master. It seems that not everybody is doing that. Some people are doing the other thing, that feature branch, Git flow branches, things like that. These things are well documented. You have very good tutorials. It is possible to create a corporate knowledge on them. Then test-driven development has also become a de facto standard. Okay, who is doing the test-driven development here? We all know that we should do it, and nobody is doing it. Yeah, I know. Then pair programming, peer reviews, and pull requests. These have all become, like standardized thing. Everybody knows them. And to all of you, it seems like, okay, nothing new here. But, to somebody who is just fresh out of college, these are all, unfortunately, new things. So, these lenses that I've shown at the beginning, this pie chart with 3 areas, each of equal value, I realized that that is not working. So, I realized that something more complex is necessary to judge the entry-level proficiencies for junior developers. And that's why I came with the metrics which defines this company standard for competencies. And this is a sort of an example. At the top, you will find the 3 familiar ones that I talked already about. But then, it's tools. Okay, build tools. Do you know Maven Gradle? You have to know it. You cannot be a part of a team if you don't know it. Application lifecycle management. You would need to master at least one of, industry standards. Third, source code versioning. Okay, you have to be familiar with Git. And I don't mean just, okay, I need to know how to press button in Atlassian source code software, like, okay, push, pull, fetch. You have to be able to do more, merge, create branches, resolve conflicts, rebase, and all this other stuff. Then, practices. I created a list of the most common ones that developers should be able to do in order to be good team members. That is, to know some workflow on the Git, feature branch, Git flow, or any other more complex workflow that you can imagine as an in-house alternative to these. Then, I realized that majority of junior developers and even some experienced ones are unable to do this, is ability to break down assigned work into atomic technical tasks. So you have to develop a feature. Okay, this feature basically boils down to these technical tasks. And I say atomic. That means that any of your colleagues who is slacking, free, can just come, grab a subtask, help you with it, and get on with his life. Then ability to keep up with work in progress limitations. These are things that are trained. People usually, when I are fresh out of college, open 5, 6, 7 tasks, and I work on all of these in parallel. And yeah, I know it's not good, but I don't know how to do it other way. This can be taught. Then discipline in comment writings. Everybody who was a team lead know this frustration of junior developers committing without issue number, any comment what was done, just saying code refactoring. Yeah, very nice. Good luck with cherry picking on these commits. Then you should be able enabled for sort of a peer code review. That means you don't get into the heart if somebody tells you, okay, you haven't done this best, this can be done better, and then it's not the end of the world because you were criticized. It is a mentality thing. Methodologies, developers should be familiar with the company standard in methodologies. We are a nearshore outsourcing company, and we want to continue to be best friends with our partners. So we make sure that our developers, kind of follow these metrics, and we have some standards for it. Every company can use this as a template and create their own metrics of competencies. And I'm quite sure that many companies are doing this like unconsciously, without thinking about it. They just, take this for granted and, okay, these are things as it should be. So let's look at, if these were the entry-level competencies for the junior developers, let's look at the current states of our education system. What of these entry-level competencies are taught at the universities today in Croatia? Okay, Java courses. Let's, for the sake of the presentation, assume that they are all of equal value. So we have Java courses at FAIR, at Tehničko učilište Zagreb, RIT, Algebra, FESB, and Veleučilište Velika Gorica. Okay, nice. Then there is a Java as a part of object-oriented programming course at PMF Zagreb, FOI, VSITE. Nice. Advanced Java courses. So all of this is just, this first pie chart of, entry-level competencies for the junior developers. Do you know Java? Nice. Advanced Java courses. Well, here, this is where you should be learning Spring, Hibernate, things like that. And TVZ provides some, RIT Zagreb provides some, Algebra, FAIR, and VVG. Let's all assume for the sake of presentation that all of these are of the same quality. Methodologies. Where can graduate student learn, something about software methodology? I mean, software is not developed in hectic or crazy, chaotic environment. We follow some procedures, standards. So, FAIR offers a course, and Algebra also offers a specialized course on Agile Scrum. Maven Gradle is basically tackled only at TVZ, and I say tackled. Jenkins also tackled only at TVZ. So you've seen the previous list. Okay, it's a pretty long one, and this list is okay, a little bit shorter. So some areas are missing, right? I summarize it in application lifecycle management. Okay, we don't have any courses, seminars, or whatever teaching students concerning them. Same thing is with continuous integration, delivery, and containers. And this is surprisingly, I mean, Git. Nobody's teaching it. UX development, JavaScript frameworks, okay. That would be really avant-garde, for some university at the moment to adopt courses in JavaScript, but who knows. Then UX development tools, that would be even more avant-garde because as the colleague before me says, okay, Grant was the hype like 6 months ago, then 4 months ago it was Gulp, then it was Branch, and now it's Webpack, so okay, how to keep up with that in education, I'm not sure. Okay, so how do we cope with this, gap? I call it at the moment. Well, the first thing that I've seen in many companies is assign junior developer to team and hope for the best. We are not developing anything, of commercial value, so yeah, we can afford it. The other is a very good practice. Assign him an experienced mentor, and this gives excellent results. Always, if the mentor is good and the student is eager to learn, this provides excellent results. You can bootstrap a person very, very quickly. The only problem is that usually the mentors have like shitload of tasks on them. Their productivity goes down if they have to babysit somebody. Nobody takes this job of babysitting of their managers for serious, and the load really, really drastically increases on good mentors. So in the end, you burn down the mentor if you not are aware of all of these things. Then the third thing is, okay, let's not rely on humans. Let's rely on processes to do the thing. So you have a very good team which has established very good team practices like pair programming, peer reviews, pull requests, and over some times the junior will catch up. He will get comments, he will get instructions, what to do, what not to do, and you rely on entire team to raise a junior. There is an American saying that it says that it needs a village to raise a child, and I think that it works. It is applicable to this. So what are the other alternatives that companies are doing to overcome this gap is assign junior developer to in-house greenfield pet projects. That's great because the company also gets some extra value from their learning. Then organize in-house incubators for young developers. That is, if you have a person dedicated to mentoring and teaching, that works also great. Or commercial education and training in forms of workshop courses. Okay, so you're giving some money to some other companies to teach your people. Then, okay, are we satisfied as the things as they are now? Or as the title of the conference says, has the time for the change arrived? Well, I will not answer these questions. I will just pose a few of the questions, and I would like for each of you to take a moment for retrospective and answer them quietly inside. So, is the national education system meeting the needs of the industry, that is of us here, and both in terms of quality, excellence, and in numbers? Any managers here in the audience, who are involved in hiring people, and like we all hate each other because we are stealing good candidates from each other. There is a bunch of good developers around, yes. So the second question, are we satisfied with the final product? That is junior developer with junior Java developer with a degree from STEM college. Or final question, good candidates we are able to hire. They are product of one, systematic and well-organized and institutionalized educational process, or personal initiative on the behalf of the particular candidate. I will leave these three questions to each of you. I know my answers. And I will pose another question. What if curriculum of the technical colleges was more aligned with the current trends in Java enterprise development? Really nice question. So, I identified several major areas of shortcomings in the knowledge of the graduate students. One is tools, so software version control, application lifecycle management, build, continuous integration, continuous delivery tools. Then personal practices and mainly team collaboration skills and tooling. So majority of these shortcomings can be relatively easily tackled with more mentored, hands-on teamwork seminar labs. And I think that we people from the industry can participate in that, and it will be greatly beneficial both for the university and for us as IT companies to be more part of this process and to provide, trainers, assistants for seminars, whatever. In that way, the students could quite easily, master these things already in the university years, and you would not have to train them at work that there is no commit without comments. And how to create tasks in Jira, how to break down work into atomic tasks and things like that. You could teach them peer reviews, pull requests, everything that they need to know as personal practices. Okay, then we come to the more difficult part of the alignment of the university curriculum with the needs of the industry. Okay, which other new courses should be added to the curriculum of the universities? Some people would advocate we need more Java EE. Some people would shout Spring, Spring, Spring. Hibernate, no, we don't need Hibernate. Hibernate is anti-pattern. We need some other framework like, okay, then what tooling should we learn, and what JavaScript frameworks should we learn? So these are all very good questions, and they are very hard to answer. Okay, and what we wanted to do is here raise sort of an awareness to this problem, and we are also starting a website called www.stateofjava.hr or .com. and .com. And we would like for all of you to help us to find out what we are doing. So what libraries we are using, what type of Java projects that we are as a country, as in enterprise industry in this country doing. And then we would like to compile this feedback and approach universities with the proposal which is founded on sort of a survey that we conducted in this country, and say, okay, we need more Spring, we need Maven, we need Gradle, because like 90% of the companies are doing it, and we have a gap in education of our junior developers that could really be shortened if we two work together. Thank you very much. I am open for questions, or if you don't want to ask questions, lunch, then I will be open for questions there.
Thank you. No, it's not. It's not. Okay. Branko Mihaljević, representative of Croatian Java user group here also. But I also have some experience in education, some 16 years, 12 at FAIR, Algebra, Vern, and now 3 at RIT Croatia. First of all, I really want to somehow collaborate with you in this nice initiative that you showed at last. And I think we have some 45 companies in our user group which are also trying to do all that, and struggling with the same problems that you are over here. I just want to object on one of those slides, and basically which you say that we are not teaching students Git, Maven, Gradle, Jenkins, and all these other tools, because we are, and I can say that from at least 3-4 colleges in Croatia. So those things exist, maybe that not in the certain amount that the companies are expecting, but they do exist. So I have to object on that, Dean.
Okay, thank you very much. Can we meet later, and like you can help me to correct slides?
Yeah.
For the next presentation. Okay, that would be, I mean, drinks on me then.
Okay, no problem. Thanks.
Yes. Who am I to judge?
I completely agree with you in a way. I come from Faculty of Electronics and Computing Zagreb, and unfortunately still the big problem is that students are forced to choose good courses, for example, so I had to even acquire additional like ESTS that is not in a curriculum to get some knowledges like in Git, SVN, but for example never encountered Jenkins or such things, and for sure I support the initiative because especially in this area we need to introduce more skills on the college, otherwise really the amount of knowledge I learned the first 6 months when I came to my first job is more than I learned in my whole college when I consider skills that I need to use at my job.
That is usually the case.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I talked to some friends in Germany and asked them how is the situation over there, and they said, well, it's like many STEAM colleges have the mandatory practices of 3 to 6 months for students, at companies, and that would be great. I think that we will all profit from it, both students and companies to have, trainees with us for not for like one month, 168 hours, which Algebra is doing, but for more, for entire semester, 3 months, because in 1 month you just start teaching him, and and then he's gone. Yeah. For instance, RIT Croatia, American colleges having 5 months or 6 months. Yeah, that's the. That's different, man. Then you know what you'll get later. Yeah. From that. I see that we are going to have the 2 persons discussion, so we can do that over the lunch, I think.